Managing an employee requires a specific set of skills which you may have previously acquired or have yet to learn. If you have experience managing employees, hiring a virtual assistant will not be much of a change in the way you've previously managed your employees. You will have to learn some new communication procedures and be aware of some of the differences a virtual employee has over an employee you see in your office each day. If you have not hired an employee before or have not been in a position to manage an employee, this will be an entirely new process for you. We have written a list of policies which will help you and your virtual assistant succeed. The more policies you choose to incorporate, the more successful your working relationship will be with your virtual employee. Humans are the same all over the world. When we meet new people or start a new job, we are all looking for the same qualities in an employer. We look for an employer who will respect us, understands our point of view, and has patience when dealing with us. Just like when you started at your company, it took time for you to get comfortable with your new job, your coworkers, and managers. Different companies all over the world provide varying levels of training for their employees. Some companies provide detailed training courses. Some provide the company manual and walk away. Others put their employees on the showroom floor and let them learn through experience. The more effort and time you put into your training with your new virtual assistant will be returned to you in the form of dependability and quality work. If you're prepared to answer questions, provide training videos and manuals, and give detailed explanations of tasks, you'll probably have a very good experience with your virtual assistant. If you do not plan on providing any training, or you're not planning to have too much contact with your virtual assistant, you'll probably end up on the path to failure. There are going to be numerous keys to your success with your new virtual employee. If you're prepared to put in some time into training your employee and helping them grow with you, you'll be very happy. A properly trained employee will be able to help you in countless ways and become an integral part of your team. When we talk about training your virtual employee, we're not expecting you to conduct classes or spend numerous hours per day detailing tasks you would like done. We're simply talking about providing your virtual assistant with the tools they need to succeed for you. When you hire your virtual assistant, your first instinct might be to email over a list of tasks, provide a date to have them completed by, and that's it. If this is your plan, you might be setting yourself up for a relationship that's going to fail. You have to prepare and train yourself to operate in a different manner into which you may be not accustomed to. Keep in mind, some of the virtual assistants are skilled, experienced, and they're ready to hit the ground running. For the most part, you'll need to dedicate some time and effort into providing your virtual assistant with the tools they need to succeed. The most important tool is communication. Until you've built a strong relationship with your virtual employee, you need to keep the lines of communication open. Be prepared to respond to emails and keep in daily contact with your virtual assistant. Daily contact will keep your virtual assistant focused on tasks that need to get done each day. As your relationship grows, your assistant will begin to complete tasks you need done without being told each day. The communication will build up your assistant's confidence that you care about them and you want them to succeed. Virtual assistants require a new set of skills as compared to what you may be used to in your office. You will not see your virtual assistant pass you in the hall or walk by your office. Even if you've provided your virtual assistant with a list of tasks to complete to keep them busy for a couple days, stay in contact and get daily updates. Sending a daily "hello, how are you doing" message goes a long way to building your virtual assistant's confidence. At work each day, you walk by people, talk with people, and interact with people. When you're in an office dealing with someone in person, you can read their body language. Are they upset? Are they irritated? Are they having a great day? Your virtual assistant cannot see your mood. They cannot read your body language. Are you happy with your virtual assistant's work? Are they doing a good job? If the answer is yes, let them know. There is a reason for why this topic is the first item covered in the employer policy details. Every single employee at one time or another has had a problem at work. They may not have completed a task properly or to the manager's expectations. At some point, you will come across the same issue with your virtual employee. In your office, you would have had countless positive experiences with your manager as compared to a few negative experiences. When dealing with your virtual employee, if you never provide any positive feedback and only make a note of the negative problems, you will very quickly demotivate your employee. This demotivation would most likely lead to your employee quitting their job. Training does not have to be a long, tedious task. For the most part, we will provide the training videos to your new virtual assistant. For many of the jobs you'll be asking them to complete, we have detailed videos providing your virtual assistant with the answers they need. If your office has a specific type of software that you need your virtual assistant to use, we can provide your virtual assistant with the training for that software at a cost. When you give your virtual assistant a new task, you can provide your own quick tutorial with the use of the Jing software. This software is detailed in our software and hardware presentation. Do not expect your virtual assistant to know every policy, procedure, and piece of software that you use on a daily basis. For the most part, you and every other employee in your company had to take the time to learn each part of their job. Your virtual assistant is no different. Provide your virtual assistant with the tools they need to learn, then allow them the time to learn the new task. Yes, some of the tasks will not be completed correctly at first, just like when you started. But by the second or third time your virtual assistant completes a task, rest assured it will be completed correctly. Once your virtual assistant has been trained and they're proficient in skills you require of them, consider further training. You will have access to over 1,600 training videos. If you do not have any ideas on what they should learn next, provide them with a list of courses. Let them pick something to learn. You never know what skills you will ask your employee to learn at a future date. The Philippines has a wealth of young, bright, and educated people. It also has issues which are out of the control of everyday people. Depending on the region you've hired your virtual assistant from, you may have a situation where you may not hear from them for a few hours. You will then get an email apologizing for not being available or for being able to contact you because of a power outage or the internet going down. This is an issue in the Philippines and it will affect you from time to time. Be aware of this problem. Be aware there is nothing your virtual assistant can do about this. Keep this in mind if you try to contact your virtual assistant and you do not get a timely response. When you first set up your procedures with your virtual assistant, you will be providing them with an email address to contact you at. Consider setting up an email address that is strictly for use with your virtual assistant. Many people have numerous email addresses and those email addresses can have non-stop activity. They may have so much activity that you miss a message from your virtual assistant. Your virtual assistant might be stuck on a task you provided to them and they're waiting for your answer. Provide your assistant with multiple options to contact you. Not only do you have an office email, you may have a separate email on your mobile phone as well. Provide your assistant with as many email addresses as possible, or like I said, provide them with a single email address which they are the only ones that contact you through. Consider giving them your phone number and setting them up with a Skype account. This way they can call you in case of an emergency where they can't get a hold of you via email. If you keep the lines of communication open with your employee, only good things can happen as you build a better relationship with them. If your virtual assistant sees you care about them and you want them to succeed, they will feel more comfortable coming to you with problems. Make sure to always tell your employee that they can come to you with any problems they're having, no matter how small or how big it is. Let them know you are there to help them work through it. Simply writing, "Let me know if you have any issues" at the bottom of each email reminds them you care to come to you if you have a problem. Remember, we have experience doing our job and we know the best and quickest way to complete each task. Your virtual assistant is still learning. With your help and guidance, they will become as quick and competent as you. How do you know if your virtual assistant is doing the work you have hired them to do? How do you know if they are working every hour of the 40-hour work week? You have various options to keep track of the time your employee spends at work. Your first option would be a screen capture software. Screen capture software takes snapshots of your assistant's screen at various times throughout the hour and day as your employee works. Our suggestion to you is to not use screen capture technology. It is out there, it is available, and you will at some point come across it. Keep in mind the technology uses a large amount of bandwidth, and it is more likely to slow down your virtual assistant's production rather than increase it. Because of the amount of resources it uses to stay active, it will slow down your employee's system. The best option for keeping track of productivity is to use a project management software. It is costly, but if you are a premium member, we do have it as part of your membership fee. We have provided a tutorial on how to use the software and strongly suggest you implement this with your virtual assistant. It allows you and all the members of your team to track the progress of a project. It will allow you and your team to set up timeframes, milestones, and complete the project. You're able to talk to each other via messages and a discussion board. Remember, your virtual assistant has a life too. They have a family, friends, and they have responsibilities. Please do not expect your virtual assistant to work more than 40 hours per week. If you do expect them to work longer hours, please be fair and let them know. If you're expecting them to work more than 40 hours per week, please compensate them for their extra work. When your virtual employee agrees to work additional hours, give your virtual assistant the same compensation you would expect from your employer. Do not expect your virtual assistant to work 7 days a week. If you require someone 7 days a week, consider hiring a full-time employee for the weekdays and a part-time for the weekends. What if you only need someone for a few hours a day, 7 days a week? My suggestion to you would be to ask your assistant prior to hiring them if these terms are acceptable. Please keep in mind, once someone starts working this schedule, they may find it does not work for them. If you do make this type of arrangement with your virtual assistant, make sure to check regularly, and by regularly, we mean once a week, to see if this arrangement still is working for both of you. You may find one day that your virtual assistant was too ashamed to tell you that they were not able to keep up with these hours and just decides to quit on you. If this is the case, your best option would be to put 2 part-time employees together or 1 full-time and 1 part-time. Remember, virtual employees are no different than you and I. If you are expecting someone to work a unique schedule, it may take time to find a unique person for that position. Trust and communication is the biggest part of a relationship you have to build with your new virtual assistant. Ponder this situation. You get a call from a company across the world. They want to hire you. You're starting tomorrow. Your first response is great, can't wait to start. Then you realize, I don't know these people. I do not know who I'm dealing with. What type of person are they? Your new virtual assistant is taking a leap of faith with their new employer that they're going to be good to them, that they're going to be fair, that they're going to pay them. Just like you, your virtual assistant has a family to take care of. They have bills, they need to eat. When you first hire your virtual assistant, make a point to pay them on time once per week. I cannot stress this point enough. Make sure you pay them on time and when you agree to. How would you feel if your new boss was just a couple days late with your paycheck? What would you do next week if they were 4 to 5 days late? Does this happen with virtual assistants? Yes. Does this lead to trust issues? Yes. You're building a relationship around communication and trust. Do what you can to make this experience positive for you and your virtual assistant. If your employer half the world away was late paying you, would you lose faith in your new employer? What are your plans if your virtual assistant just doesn't work out? What if each task you give them does not turn out good? My first suggestion when you come into this problem is to step back and evaluate the situation. If you assigned a task to an employee and they finish it unsatisfactory, find out what happened before you assign blame. Did you provide your virtual assistant with adequate training or training resources? If you have, did you provide them with enough time to learn the new task? If so, did you allow them enough time to complete the work? If you did you have daily contact with your employee and ask if they are having any problems? At some point in this progression, something went wrong. Does your employee feel comfortable coming to you with problems? If you're not sure of that answer, ask them. My suggestion would be to go over the problems you have with their work and see if they recognize the issues. If they do, assign them the same task again and see if they succeed this time. Unfortunately, some virtual assistants will need to be replaced. For the most part, most will not. Your virtual assistant may need some additional attention, and as I said in the beginning, the more you put into training, the more you get out. The more positive communication you have with your virtual employee, the more likely it is that they will come to you with a problem. It is always better to spend the extra time with a person you're already dealing with rather than start from scratch with a new employee. Consider implementing the same system which is used in companies and organizations all over the world. Provide your employee with a warning. If they do something wrong, allow them an opportunity to vindicate themselves before you replace them. If they are making an effort to make things right, take the time to work through the issue. When you first hire your virtual assistant, make it clear what you are hiring them for. Do you need an assistant to handle phone calls, respond to emails, complete documents, and send them to your customers? What happens if 1 month into your new virtual assistant experience, you decide you need someone to update your webpage? Although many virtual employees are able to do different jobs, do not expect this of your assistant. Ask them if you're able to do the work. If they answer no, ask them if they would consider learning it. If they agree, keep in mind they may not be able to learn to do the new task. Please do not get upset. Just as if your manager asks you to learn a new task, I hope you would not expect to lose your job because you're not able to learn a new task unrelated to what you were hired to do. Finally, I would like to discuss payment. When you pay your virtual employee, consider paying them once per week. Each week for the first 2 months, this will build confidence with your employee. Once a level of trust is built between the two of you, your virtual employee should be moved every 2 weeks. There are numerous payment options for you to use to pay your employee in the Philippines. You will have to decide with your employee which payment method works best for you. Our suggestion to you and your employee would be to use the PayPal system. It is a universal payment service which works in most countries. PayPal is a versatile payment system. Due to the varying exchange rates, we suggest paying your employees in Philippine pesos. PayPal offers you the option of paying in various currencies, and Philippines pesos is an option. In the Philippines, they have a law called the 13th month. This is required by all employees who employ Filipino workers who work in the Philippines. You do have to pay the 13-month bonus. After an employee has been with their employer for 12 months, their employer gives them a bonus of 1 month's salary. This amount is prorated, which means if you hired someone in July, at the end of December, you will owe your employee a bonus equal to 2 weeks' salary. We suggest you let your virtual assistant give you a reminder of when the 13-month bonus is due. It's very likely if you're not reminded, you will forget about it. Once you had your virtual assistant for a while, you will start to see the good quality work they provide to you. Consider implementing a raise system. Let your virtual assistant know that each year your assistant is with you, you will provide them with a 5 to 10% increase in salary. Or on the other hand, you can provide your virtual assistant with a medical care plan. Medical care plans in the Philippines cost 1,000 pesos per month, which roughly translates into $25 per month. Included with your membership is an independent contractor agreement. This agreement includes all the terms of employment. Have your virtual assistant review, sign, and return it to you. You can also use your own agreement if you choose. You also have access to a non-disclosure agreement if the information your virtual assistant will be privy to requires this agreement. Finally, we have included a payment form. Ask your employee to fill out this form and return it to you. It has all the information you require to make the payment to your employee. A virtual employee is a great option for many of today's professionals. Virtual assistants can provide you with skills which you may not possess. They will release you of the burden of completing many mundane tasks. This new freedom allows you time to focus on other aspects of your personal life or your business. It is not unusual for a business person to start to build their team with multiple virtual assistants. I know you will find this virtual assistant experience rewarding, and good luck.